So that's a great start for him.
So now we'll see what the Falcons can do. Of course, coming in from Colorado, one of the nice things about being literally the Air Force is that you never have to worry about your travel. I talked to Coach Wilson before. He said it was smooth like always at their own means of transportation. Something they are very used to playing in the ASUN.
There's Kalen Driggs. That's their leading scorer. #1 in black. Keep an eye out for him today.
Did not start.
Whoa.
But he's already having an impact here. Opening goal goes the way of the visitors. Stadelmeyer opens it up for the Falcons.
And look, the difference in this game so far, right? We're only 2.5 minutes in. The difference is finishing, right? Duke's got 2 good looks, and here's Duke's look, right? On Duke's end, right? They get the same look on the crease. Their goalie makes a save. Air Force gets the same look. They bury it, and that's the difference. 1-0 Falcons. Great start for Coach Wilson and crew.
Stadelmeyer on a great run here. He's now starting
Backman in order to keep these guys up top in check.
We've already started to see just opening a couple of slips almost exclusively from the Duke guys. Cycling it around. Johnston. Delgado.
Here's McAdory.
Shrugs off one. Forced away.
See that guy?
Molliver goes over the back, just can't connect off the post.
Nice pass from Molliver to Graham. Those guys,
spilled
nice.
And turned in on the edge of the crease. Graham, first time denied, will not be the second, and the Blue Devils level.
Coach Wilson very unhappy about that goal. On the road, that's one you just don't want to give up, right? You play great defense, you get help from the pipe, right? You get some help from the pipe. Now it's a ground ball in the defensive end, right? You can't come up with it. Duke picks it up and scores. Too easy of one to give the home team prepared to defend from X. And this is an Air Force team that's coming from all ways, right? They got fantastic middies. They've got 2 quarterbacks at attack. This is a dangerous team. They're gritty. Both of their quarterbacks at attack each have more than 10 ground balls in the season, right? So that means that not only are they scoring, they're leading their team, right? They're riding hard, they're picking up ground balls, they're finding extra possessions, right? And they're making each other successful.
Save is rebounded by Jamison.
And what do you know? That's one of their guys. That's Kalen Driggs with a ground ball in the offensive end. Let's see what it leads to. It's classic.
Flip off.
Right? All my young guys, everyone young, guys and girls at home watching this, right? Ground balls, ground balls, ground balls, right? If they pick up the ground ball, they get a chance to score, and they do there. Right? You play great defense in the shot clock, right? First, phenomenal save, right? Mr. Merrick having a day so far in Durham.
Stadelmeyer with 2. The Falcons up here on the road against Duke, 2-1.
Any shots on cage, just get in front of it and don't rub it.
Duke to go and try and tie this once again. They have not led today, twice trailed. Molliver.
Right, Duke likes to take a lot of pride in protecting the stadium, so we'll see how they turn it up here as we get going.
Johnston. Cycling through.
Cusilito with the shorty. It's a good matchup for him.
Cusilito, space opens up and he lasers one in. Cusilito and Duke are level.
Right, and so as this game progresses, right, Air Force is gonna have to start making some decisions, right? Air Force doesn't want to slide, right? They're gonna say, if Duke's gonna beat us, they're gonna run by their man and score a goal more times than we're able to score, right? And Chris Cusilito says, okay. Simply, right? Right hand riding, right? When we're on the offense and they get a save or we lose the ball some way, right? We're jumping immediately into a 10-man. That's where you see our goalie #1. He comes out of the goal. He guards the nearest attackman to him. We roll a pull up to the field. So it seems like they're out of guys, but in reality, we're just trying to speed them up, and we're kind of leaving our net. Duke's kind of leaving their net empty. And there, they get the ball back. So call that worth it.
2 minutes to go in quarter =1. Quick flip, drives it low.
Now that was a serious look from a freshman. Curtius, I got my eye on you. Wow. Coming down that righty alley, knowing, right, we call that a through pass. right? If you look, right, because of what we've been doing on offense, the success that we've been having in our one-on-one matchups, Air Force has to slide now. They have to slide now. And that's creating through lane.
Cross-field passes.
Earlier, Matt Christmas intercepts a pass one-handed. We call that a golden nugget. Any pass knocked down, we call that a nugget.
There was a reset on the possession clock, on that shot clock, so they'll get it back down to 34. Just tipped in the air. Here they go again, Yago.
Air Force.
Ball pops loose again. Stadelmeyer going in on his own.
Wow.
3 goals for Air Force and 3 goals for Ryan Stadelmeyer.
Sheesh. 3 goals for Stadelmeyer, 3 assisted goals for Air Force. All 3 of their goals are assisted, right? This is classic. These guys play together.
That's after spilling it.
Oh, yeah.
Was not an easy one to get. Jamison, we've really yet to see make any big saves, just 1 stop on the day. That's thanks to Stadelmeyer's surge. Duke team, points per game, top 10 in the country, and one of the best scoring offenses. So their hands are full, the Air Force.
All right. Duke comes out and says, let's get McAdory going.
McAdory.
Oliver with a shorty again. Last time he got a great shot off. Didn't hit it, but great shot. That's a tough matchup.
McAdory!
And there you go.
Goal line extended to the top corner, and the Blue Devils lead again.
Right, Mr. Oliver says, you know, if I get a shorty, I'm gonna just do my thing back here. I'm gonna go throw it in the goal. And it's simple, 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 simple. Right, Air Force, right, like I said, their game plan is not to slide, not to slide, not to slide. Certain matchups are gonna make you pay every time.
He has got a hot hand himself. Developing storyline here. Duke with the 10-man ride. It's already paying dividends. They force a timeout to be burned by Coach Wilson and the Falcons. We'll see what they drew up in the interval. Back at X. Quick pitch around. Wilhelm. Picked up off the ground by Yago.
Here's their guy. He's got a shorty matchup. Eyes peeled.
Yago. Space
There he
opens
goes.
up. A missile into the back of the net. They're level once again as the Falcons come swinging out of the timeout.
There he goes. 1-1 for him on the day. Right now he's on the board, and you know, confidence. It's these guys are here to stay. Right? The Air Force Falcons under Coach Wilson, they are here to stay. This is a serious team.
Well, that's the thing we talked about. You said that's their guy. Both Yago and Driggs to this point, no points. So the fact that they're getting these guys.
By one. You got to run by one. And there we go.
Just like that, ball back to Duke on this uncharacteristic 10-man ride.
It's working for Duke.
McAdory and Molliver. 2 big guns.
Right, that's why we love sports, man. It's like, they do this, what's our answer? They do this, what's our, and eventually you want to do something and you want your opponent to have no answer.
Yeah.
Right, and the past 2 clears, right, they haven't solved the 10-man how they want to. And there's McAdory, he just tied me in Duke points.
So he gets the assist.
Andrew
Molliver fires it
McAdory
in.
to Molliver. 5-4, right? And like I said, this Air Force team is hanging around, man. 5-4, we're working for it, right? And here's the deal. Here's the deal with the 10-man, right? And for all my young people watching back home, when you have a really good defensive possession, or right, when you have a really good defensive possession and you turn the ball over, I'll tell you that much.
16-14 in shots, leading by Duke, but they're out shooting the Falcons 2-1 just about right now. Need more on frame. Surveys the field.
Well, if you look at the Air Force shots on goal, they put about 66% of their shots on goal. So you play Air Force, you're gonna have to make some saves, right? They shoot with a purpose.
Flashed in, great feed, and even better finish. Josh Yago.
Oh boy, Mr. Yago doing it all kinds of ways. He wants to beat you off the dribble, he'll do that. He wants to put it in his offhand and cut, he'll do that. And like I said, right, Air Force, they ain't paying attention to the scoreboard, none of that. They are playing lacrosse, just happens to be 5-5.
What a feed there. As crisp of a pass as you'll see. 14 points in the last 2 before this for Yago.
These shorties for Duke on the wings. Coach Janowski was serious. He was not just saying that to us. He clearly made that a very big point of emphasis. Right? We need help from our shorties on the wings on the faceoffs. Yeah. And they're getting it.
He said Tuesday, Wednesday, they focused on themselves. Thursday, Friday, they focused on Air Force. And quite clearly, that point of emphasis on their wings has certainly made it through to this team.
Right? Every possession matters. Every possession matters. How can we get more? Right? And you see, right, McAdory's dodging. Wow.
Great feed. Makes it look so easy. And Luke Graham, bottom corner, puts the Blue Devils up.
I got something. Luke Graham, that might be, if I were to guess, that might be one of his only right-handed goals in his college career. Right, and that's how John Danowski is, right? He knows Luke Graham scored hundreds of goals at Richmond with his left hand, right? That one more. And in a one-goal game, right, which play do you want back? Right, which ground ball do you want back?
Picked off by Jamison, 2 big ones there, a save and an interception to try and build this Duke lead to 2.
If I'm watching Duke film, you gotta know he likes to do that. Patrick Jamison likes to steal a couple of those a game, and he does phenomenal at them. He doesn't leave the goal open.
Jamison, 14 saves against Michigan, 11 against Princeton and St. Joseph's. He's been regularly getting up into double digits. Hasn't had a whole lot of answers for the shots on goal today.
Here's McAdory with a shorty. He wants to go. Right, and Air Force trying to switch on him. There you go. Classic.
Wound up, bounced in. Another point for McAdory.
Goosebumps.
He is now clear of you.
Goosebumps. I got absolute goosebumps. Right, a player like McAdory, right, let's watch the replay. He wasn't even dodging. Toughness.
105 points with the Terrapins. Led that Maryland team in assists last season. That's the thing, is to come back as good as you were is one thing. To come back even better is a whole nother. And Molliver might just be playing the best lacrosse of his life.
Oh, yeah. Very good point. So now Air Force puts 2 on the ball. Right. McAdory is just different athlete. Right. McAdory is just a different athlete. McAdory!
First goal of the day to go alongside his 2 assists. He is storming up those record books.
He says they're going to leave me in the dust. He's a oh, man, McAdory, like I said, right, like I said in the intro, he's the heart and soul of this team. Right, he's the heart and soul of this team. If they're going to do anything today, right, he's going to have a lot to do with it. And if he doesn't have a lot to do with it in the stat book, right, he's the guy on the sideline pumping up everyone, right, getting everyone to believe, right, that's him. Right, he scores, he immediately
in half. We'll have the opportunity to get to work here to try and cut down on this Duke lead.
And I think that's a big deal, them coming out and getting that first face-off. Right, there's been 15 face-offs so far, and Duke's won 10 of them, you know, in the first half. And now, you know, second half, new game, 1-0 Air Force. They're going to want to keep that edge going.
It's hard to win games with that deficit.
Right, they've got the edge in goal. Right, Merrick is playing his butt off. Right now, they're going to need some help, right, from their other middies, right, and on those face-off wings, right. They've got to give those Duke shorties some. Whoa!
Kisses it off that outside post. Caitlin Driggs, the offensive player of the week in the ASUN, pops up with the first of the second half.
There he is. Right, and look, I can't say it enough. Air Force don't care about the score, right? They're here to do a job. They're here to play lacrosse, right? And you know, in having a mindset like that, they're not going to stop, right? They're going to keep going. They're going to keep going, right? And they're going to push Duke, right? Duke
could be the real difference maker.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I think Coach Wilson might have mentioned that. And, you know, big-time players got to make big-time plays. And Caleb Driggs doing his best to put his stamp on how that ain't happening with the Air Force Falcons today.
McAdory feeds it away, but it's met by Merrick, up into double digits so far.
Mr. Merrick. Having an absolute day between the pipes, man. Keeping them in it. Absolutely keeping them in this game.
That equals his career high.
And look at him. Air Force, they pick up ground balls in their offensive end.
Driggs! Back-to-back goals for the big number 1. And they're within 1 now.
Right? 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Air Force, 2. Duke 0 in the third. That is something Duke's not used to.
It all started back here with Merrick as well.
It's all starting with Merrick. He came to play today. Merrick came to play. He said he's going to keep him in it.
Mikhail, if you're not going to win on the face-off, you got to have a keeper coming up with saves.
Coach Danowski, you know, he would always say it, right? The face-off's not about the face-off guy, right? We got a two-headed monster there. It's not about them. It's about the unit, right? It's about, you know, and if he's having a day, right, then my job on the wing is to keep my guy off of the face-off guy, right? It's a unit. It's a unit thing. It's not just a one-guy thing.
Duke hunting for their first goal in the third. Things getting very close. Molliver flips it in easy as you like. Luke Graham just lengthens it back out.
Right, he caught that one. He did exactly what any lacrosse coach is going to ask of his attacker. He caught the ball on the crease, he took his time, and he threw it where the goalie wasn't. Right? Like, the goalie, if you look a little close, look at Merrick. He's thinking he's going to throw it that far side, so he starts jumping there, right? And Merrick.
Exactly right.
Details. That's another one you want back, because that's probably a goal, right? That's another time where Molliver is back there with a short, whoa. Right, Molliver's back there with a short stick.
Right back to Duke, though. What's on himself? Merrick says no again.
Merrick. This guy is, dare I say it, is he standing on his head? Maybe not yet. He's making all the saves, though. Let's just say that.
Reeled in up high.
Sloat.
Can't stop that one. It's Max Sloat. Equals up Duke's largest lead.
Welcome to the party, Mr. Sloat. Nice cut, nice pass by Molliver. Man, Molliver, seriously, he's growing into this role, right? New school, right? But he's the guy, right? You know, you gotta have a guy. You know, Molliver, he's been proving all year he's the guy, right? His teammates trust him just as much as he trusts his teammates. He's feeding them, you know, the guys involved.
Yeah.
That's why you hear coaches saying, that's everybody get a touch, and, you know, things like that. Right, get everyone going, right? Get the blood flowing, right? Now all guys, right? Now the unit, right, can maximize its potential.
So Duke, after a brief stumble to start the third quarter, firmly in control here. They've never led by as many as 4. Molliver might have something to say about that, and he does. Duke up to 11, storming their way out of the gates in the third.
Molliver turning the corner, right? This Duke team, right? And I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. I'm gonna give this goal to Thomas Delgado, right? He gets Molliver's guy just interested enough because, as I said, these Duke middies are now demanding slides, right? He goes out a half step more than he wants to, right? So he kind of slips a little bit. Who better than Molliver, right?
Piffer, let's see here.
I thought it was clean.
Sticking with your initial assessment.
Yeah, I am. I thought he got him in the numbers. But that's not what we can control. This is what we can control.
They're not going to want to hear. Molliver leads this team with 4 man-up goals. This is their first opportunity. He's going to make it 5. A high-wire act on the crease. Molliver gets another.
Right, and to my point earlier, right, who threw him the feed? Sloat. Right, he comes in, he gets his goal, now he's in that flow state, he makes a great through pass on man up, right? Duke's up 5. It's May.
Yeah, Duke's already played a ASUN team in Jacksonville, 14-9. That was a very good Jacksonville team as well. So this just goes to show you that Air Force can go toe-to-toe with anybody, both in their conference and out. Just got to get that run. Great feed. Ball pops loose.
Look at it. Look how tough they are. I mean, like, they're just nasty, right? And that's how you want your defense to be, right? You catch it on the crease, no, you're gonna take a hit, right? Like, that's our crease. That's how they play, and it's fun to watch, man. And
driving down on goal, Driggs.
There's the guy.
Adds in yet another. Reeling it in. Air Force trying to build a run of their own.
Look at this Air Force. Starts with this defense, right? Duke draws a slide, right? Air Force skewers, right? Puts him. He gets hit by 3 different guys. Ends up on his back, right? They're running the other way right now. Right. One of the downsides of the 10-man ride, which is equivalent to the full court press, is that you kind of run out of defensemen at the end if they're able to force, right? That's one Duke probably wants back. Great hold by Air Force there.
Aiden McGuire trying to find his 2nd goal of the season. He's an all-around threat.
He's played so much. He's played so much.
What's incredible is Coach Sanowski says he has more to give, which is probably the scariest thing you'll hear.
Yeah, like his motor, man. As a coach, you can work with that.
Yeah.
That's a motor you can work with. Whoa.
Space opens up.
That's phenomenal.
Nothing Merritt can do about that one. The freshman Liam Kirchis pegs on another for the Blue Devils.
Right, that's phenomenal. Right, you smoke your defenseman, it's hard for them to figure out what to do on the backside. Right, so no one comes, you get your hands free from 10 yards. Great.
The number 22 prospect had 2 points in each of the first 3 games. A great start to his college career.
And if you really pay attention, man.
Yeah, they did a great job of adjusting on the fly. You can see it like the gears turning of them figuring out this 10-man.
And it's cool watching it from the box because, yes, they are figuring it out. Yes, the gears are turning, but what's done is already done. Going 3 for 7 in the 2nd quarter, you can't go back and undo that. And, of course, you can make it better, right? But that's why we practice, right? You don't ever want to have that spurt where you just can't do it because, now you get to a point 8 minutes in the game and it's like, oh, we figured it out. And
Driggs with a man in his face.
What did I say earlier?
Leaves him in his dust
What
and
did I say
adds one
earlier?
on.
Duke better off just holding the ball because number 1 in black, Kalen Driggs, he's got something to say about it.
Big goal from Driggs as they're on the doorstep of 10. 4-goal deficit. Can they surmount it?
They aren't going anywhere. Air Force 9, Duke 13.
After the first quarter, then Duke have led by either 2 or 3 in each quarter break so far.
And here's McAdory, right, with the line. Reed Landon and Liam McLean, right? And they got McAdory on the field kind of anchoring those guys, keeping them organized.
McAdory going to work. Molliver. Just about picked off. Shots wide, backed up by McAdory.
Nice offense from the Blue Devils. Molliver does a really good job with that drift. And there he is, getting back on the scoreboard.
Drifts off, gets the feed in from McAdory, who can't stop getting points. Those two combine yet again, and it's up to 5, the lead for Duke.
McAdory cannot stop getting points. That is correct, man.
He didn't just move by your record, he is storming by it, and he has got his...
He has a transfer, that's not easy. It's almost like a whole different game he's playing here, and he's coming and it looks seamless.
They'll go to the grindstone once again.
Uh-oh, here's the guy, Mr. Driggs. Between Mr. Driggs and Mr. Merrick, I'm just over here. I'm in the press box wowed. Seriously, these guys are awesome. And look at McGuire. He wants it.
Big wind up and a big finish for Sansky off the feed.
And so here, right, for my young people watching at home, in general, you don't really want to slide to a pole. Right? So when we see Aiden McGuire slide to the ball, sliding to a pole, defense kind of gets out of sorts behind it, right? Like I said, in general, you don't really want to slide to poles on the defensive. Uh-oh, face off. Air Force wins it backwards. What's that mean for Duke? They get to get in their 10-man.
That's the thing
right?
is,
and Air Force is still subbing, like,
yeah.
And here we go, right? Like that pole in the middle of the field, he's gonna cause problems, right? And you're not used to him being there. And so it's just, it's a little uncomfortable. And look at it, body's flying now, right? Duke gets a body, Air Force says, we're getting one more. Luke Graham says, okay, we'll get one more of what matters.
Another feed from Oliver, another goal for the Blue Devils. The 10-man ride paying off.
Right? Keith Boyer, middle of the field, getting a big hit, getting the ground ball, moving it to his teammates, right? We call that a second assist.
The thing is, he gets put to the ground, right back up to his feet. Talk about the bounce back.
Hey, I'm up in the booth, right? The Boyer family watching, if you guys are watching. I got him for a 4th assist there. I got him. That was unreal, right? You're not out and happy for Mr. Merrick, man. He's having an absolute day. And let me tell you, he's going to carry this momentum, right? He's going to carry this momentum as they keep going in the season and as they get into the A-Sun games. And, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Nothing he could do about that one. Graham Blake waltzes his way to the edge of the crease, finishes it low.
Not enough can be said about this Duke 10-man ride, right? And I like the mindset of it, right? Duke, they like to think they've got, some of the better athletes, that play college lacrosse, right? How can we take advantage of that, right? Speed kills, right? In any sport, speed kills, right? So let's speed them up. Let's get a pole up in the middle of the field, right? Who's going to be everywhere, right? And let's see what we can do. Right, let's keep them from getting it in their offensive possession. Because let me tell you, Kalen Driggs, number 1, you don't want to see him.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Tanowski said, is it's just like basketball. Possession is 9/10 of the law. If they don't have the ball, they can't score. Do you think this is something Duke might stick with? Impossible question.
I don't. It's not, maybe, but it's not what I think this is look, we got a Saturday game. It's March 8th. Let's go out here. Let's take advantage. Let's run.
They know they can do it.
They know that they can do it. Right? This is a team that they know that they can do it against.
Yeah, this wasn't a team you were going to come in here and get an easy result against. They've had to grind this out, driving right down on Jameson's goal.
Mr. Yago. Mr. Yago. Right? I mean, these guys, I have the most respect for this Air Force team.
Yeah.
They've got guys, and more than that, they've got the will to win. They don't care. They're running by poles. They're beating the slide. They're getting shots